and I'm looking for a counter there. There's seconds, so that means we should be live now. And I'll see if I can get a confirmation over here. We should be live now. Yep, and I'll see if I can mute that. So that's running. Harold, hi.
Hello.
What I hear ringing. Ooh, my watch is ringing. All right. So you've got a problem with your laptop. Can you describe what's happening?
Yeah, it's an HP Pavilion laptop, and when it sits idle for any, not really any long time that I've noticed, but I can walk away from it and then maybe several minutes come back, and it's just on the home screen, and the next thing I know, it's blanked out. The power light is on, but I swipe across the pad and it doesn't come back to life. I try the escape button, nothing happens.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna interrupt for a moment. I've got the fourth call from this same office in the last minute. Let me see what's going on with them.
Okay. Probably their site's
Okay.
overwhelmed.
Sites. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
You heard that phone call.
I did.
Okay. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, you would hear that, but I had it. I think I had it muted from the video since the person on that call, I didn't have their permission to record them.
I guess I shouldn't have said anything.
No, that's okay because that alerts me to go and check on it. All right. So, where were you? You I think you finished. Did
I
you?
think I finished describing the problem, and then the only way to get it to come back on is because the power light's on, but the screen is blank. So the only way I can get it to come back up is to hold the power button down until the light goes out. And I
Yeah.
usually wait a couple of minutes and then restart it. And so you hold the power button down a second, the light comes on, but it takes almost, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes to finish rebooting because it's going through probably a lot more diagnostics or whatever to come back to where it was.
Yeah, it will be doing some recovery and repair operations. In terms of days and weeks, how long have you had this symptom?
I think almost since I got the thing.
What, you're talking years?
Um, Probably.
Oh, okay. Wow. When you purchased the computer, did it come with Windows 10 on it, or did it get upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10?
I believe it had 7 and it upgraded to 10.
Okay, okay.
I'm
So
not
that
I'm not 100% sure on that.
okay. How often do you have this trouble?
Whenever it sits idle. I mean,
Okay,
just before this session, I had let it sit idle for a few minutes, just pretty much to test it, and sure
okay,
enough, it locked itself up.
okay. So I'm guessing you've found some way to work around it.
Well, the only workaround is to shut it off, like I said,
Okay,
and
and
to basically cold boot it.
so do you avoid leaving it sit idle because of that problem?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I try to remember to go into sleep. It doesn't seem to do it coming out of sleep mode.
Okay. Do you think you were having this trouble even before it upgraded to Windows 10?
I don't recall.
Okay, fair enough. So let's get me connected to your computer. Can you go to a website called logmein123.com?
Okay. It was log me in.
Yeah, logmein123.com. And it works best if you click in the address bar and type the whole address. Otherwise, you'll probably get search results. Then you need to be careful about which one you click on.
Okay, I need a 6-digit code.
Yes, perfect. You got the right place. The 6-digit code, 132852.
So I clicked on start download, and it
Okay.
a little circle went around a couple of times and quit.
You may be down in the bottom left corner. Is there a downloaded file?
Oh yeah,
Okay, click on
I didn't
that.
notice that.
Yeah.
Support log me in, open file.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Uh-huh. Okay, I got a bell on my side, which is the first step. And then I do a click here to start the connection. And then I'm going to click on a remote control button, and you probably have a prompt on your screen now.
There you go.
Very good. Do you see the mouse moving?
Yep.
All right, so I've got your screen on my screen now. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger on my side. All right. And let's see what I want to do on that. Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can do this piece. Okay, I'm going to start with looking up a couple pieces of information. Go to event viewer. So I hit the Windows key and then start typing event viewer, and it shows up in the search results. And you said this happened today. Do you know approximately what time that was?
Probably around 9.
All right. Go into the system.
And then I had to reboot it when we got on our phone call.
Okay. Let's maximize this. It should be pulling up those events right now, and I get a not responding message. So it's struggling with coming up with those. I got a spinning mouse pointer. There we go. All right. And I'm looking down through these events. And there's an event 12. Reset policy. Same. Okay, let's come over here. Can I move that? Yeah. Let's filter the current log and ask for only critical and errors. And so these are the items from today. 5608, 7409. System is rebooted without cleanly shutting down first. This error could be caused if the system stopped responding. So this 1010 would be when you started the computer and it got shut down at 9:29. So that's probably when you held the button down, the power button down, and forced it off. So looks like there was about 40 minutes between the time you shut it down when you started it up. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1010 and 9:29 are the two times I really care about. So I'm going to clear the filter and look closer at those times. See if we get any clue. There's a bunch of stuff at 1010. And here we get down to 9:44 is the last thing that we got. And that was well before you forced the computer off, but it probably froze a while before you noticed it.
Right.
Yes? But at any rate, there's not anything here that I'd really call a clue. Corruption in file system. Corruption discovered. Okay. That doesn't really sound likely to cause the kind of lockup you're describing. Then this error 6008 is the one that tells us about a previous shutdown was unexpected. So I'm going to search for that event, and that's going to show us basically how long this has been happening or how frequent. So 6008, in this field I'm going to put 6008 and click OK. And so we've only got a couple of them in January, and I would probably attribute that to the fact that you kind of avoid letting that happen.
Right.
Okay, and then we've got a fair amount of them in December, some in November, and then October. And then our log doesn't go back prior to September 6th, it looks like, and that was probably due to a Windows update that resets the event viewer log.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that would fix it.
Yeah. Okay. So since it didn't, since you've been having it so long, and I'm guessing it's probably been since the Windows 10 update or upgrade. So the thing that's taking me most I'm most attracted to is device drivers. So I'm going to go into Windows Explorer with single clicking on that file folder type icon, and then right click on this PC, choose properties, and go into device manager. And what sounds most likely might be a display adapter driver. Any drivers not quite compatible with other drivers or with Windows 10 could cause this kind of symptom, but the display driver would be the first suspect. Do you have a screensaver on this computer that ever comes on? Okay, let's go check. That's enough of a hesitation. So I'm just going to leave this device manager open. I'm going to press Windows key D for desktop. That minimizes everything that's open. On the desktop, I'm going to right click, choose personalize, and then come over here to the left side and click on lock screen. And there is a lock screen background picture on the sign-in screen. I'm going to look at both of these two one at a time. Screen timeout settings. So you probably have the laptop plugged into power when this problem is happening. Is that
Yeah, I
true?
usually always keep it plugged in.
Okay. So it's configured to turn the screen off after 10 minutes. Do you think this lockup occurs in less time?
That's probably about what it's doing.
Okay. So one thing we can do as a troubleshooting is actually change this so the screen never turns off. So if the problem goes away with that, then that tells us that the problem is likely connected to Windows 10 trying to turn the screen off. And something about the device driver for probably your display adapter is incompatible with that.
That would make sense because that's when it seems to happen, is when the screen goes blank and then it just never comes back on.
Yeah. So then we're not going to well, let's see, sleep. When plugged in, it goes to sleep after 20 minutes. So for instance, if you were able to say that after 10 minutes, I can see the screen does turn off, but then I can touch the mouse and it comes back alive. But if you wait longer, after 20 minutes, it's configured to go to sleep. And if there's some kind of a compatibility or functional problem there, that could be when it freezes. Now, didn't you say when you come back to the computer, you do see the image on the screen?
Oh,
And
it's blank.
it's
When
blank.
when it's
Okay.
locked up, it's blank.
Okay. So it might be going blank after 10 minutes because the screen's turned off. If you get to it less than 20 minutes before it goes to sleep, maybe it comes back to life and it's okay. Are there sometimes you come back to the computer after the screen's gone black and you are able to wake it up
Yes.
smoothly? Yes. Okay, so that gives us reason to suspect that it might actually be when it goes to sleep. But we'll troubleshoot that in the same way by setting both of these to never. And then if your computer is stable and it never freezes on you, we know at least one of those two is the source of the trouble.
That makes sense.
All right. So I'm going to close this window and I'm going to come back to personalize and lock screen. And this time go to screensaver settings. That's kind of, oh, okay. So when I put the mouse over it, it's supposed to turn gray from blue apparently. So you don't have any screensavers set. So that tells us that that is not likely the source of the trouble. Then I'm going to click on change power settings and see if there's anything else of interest. Over here on change plan settings will let us see additional detail. Now we just turned off these two settings from that other screen. But then I'm going to go take a look at advanced power settings and see what else there might be in here. So here, after 3 minutes, it turns the hard disk off when it's on battery. When it's plugged in, it turns the hard disk off after 15 minutes. So that's another possibility of something that might be happening. So if we take the aggressive troubleshooting route of changing everything that might be causing the problem, and we find that that does eliminate the problem, then we only have cause to think that one or more of these were the source of the trouble. And that is my inclination. If we don't change this now, what that means, if you do still have the problem, then we come back and change this. And the overall troubleshooting process takes more time in the sense of the number of sessions we do to fix it. So with that said, do you have a preference?
Yeah, I think we should probably leave this one alone and
Okay.
just do step at a time.
Okay, very good. That's absolutely fine. And then on sleep, we're going to look at sleep after. And when it's plugged in, it's set to never, and that's because we just made that change. For hibernate, it's set for never. And I think that's all I care about here. We're not really caring about battery because you don't run this on battery. So I think that's enough there to deal with. Now, so I'll close that down, close this down, close this down. Then I'm going to go back and describe a step that we could do now here, or we could hold off on it. And based upon the prior response you gave me, I think we'll probably hold off on this. So I right click on this. Then if I chose to, I could choose update driver. What that's going to do is search the internet for an updated driver for your display adapter. But if we do that now, then we don't know if the display settings that we just changed were the solution. If we find that they were the solution, and if we want to be able to use the screen blanking and the standby mode, then we'd come back and update this driver and see if we could turn those features back on.
We could see if there's an update out there, right?
You know what? I'm a little weak in my mind whether when I click on that, will it give me the option to decline the update or not. I think it will, but I'm not certain on that piece.
I'd be surprised if it didn't, because usually
I would expect it to. So do you feel like worth risking it and trying that?
Yeah, I'd like to see if there's a driver out there.
Yeah, because that certainly changes our course of action for moving forward. So search automatically for drivers. Windows has determined the best driver for this device is already installed. There may be better drivers on Windows Update or on the device manufacturer's website. So as far as Windows 10 capability of searching for drivers, Windows 10 is telling us this is the best driver available. The manufacturer of the display adapter might have a better update, or the manufacturer of the laptop. Is this HP or Dell or what?
HP.
Yeah, HP.
HP Pavilion.
Yeah. So we could go check HP's website. Another piece that we could do is do a Google search for your specific model of HP regarding freezes after idle, and see if there's any content that Google search finds regarding that. My inclination, though, is to stop at this point and see if we've had an impact.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so based upon your description, I'm thinking that if we disconnect and end the video session and you just walk away from the computer for half an hour, and it does not lock up, that will be a substantial indicator that we have affected the symptom.
Of course, the difference is going to be it's going to be idle, but it's still going to have the screen on, right?
Yeah, the screen will be staying on, and that is the difference that we've done at this point. And that's really the only difference, is we've disabled the screen turning off, and we've disabled the standby mode or sleep mode. And we did not disable the hard drive going to sleep after 3 minutes.
Right. Well, so that will determine whether it's a hard drive or a display driver.
Yeah, if it doesn't freeze after 3 minutes, and I'm suspecting that the history of the symptom, it hasn't been freezing that soon.
Right.
Then if you can tell that it does freeze after the 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever those numbers were, then we, that takes us a different direction. If we still have the symptom, then we would next be going after the display driver or possibly other drivers. Now, I'm sorry, you said this was Dell?
No, an HP.
HP. Okay.
HP Pavilion.
So HP has a utility on their website that will scan the computer to see if there's other drivers. And then also the HP website will be able to inform us if they have tested this particular model of computer with Windows 10, and do they declare it as compatible with Windows 10. A computer does not have to be tested by the manufacturer as compatible with Windows 10 in order for Windows 10 to work. So it's quite possible your computer received the Windows 10 upgrade when the manufacturer has not identified that it is compatible, which that will give us another clue.
Oh, it's like a 737 Max.
Okay, yeah. Many possibilities here. Now, there are several, let's see, there's Microsoft Edge is open, and you went there to make the connection. And you have Zoom actually installed, so we should be able to close that without losing our connection. Can I close your mail app?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we'll close this Windows Explorer that I had opened, and we'll close this device manager, and this one I think was event viewer. Yeah. So when we end the session, we'll you'll observe it and then let me know, and we'll have another session to deal with whatever results you get.
Okay.
That sound okay?
You want me to touch bases with you around noon or
Yeah, that'd be great.
later?
That'd be great. Anytime, your choice.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thanks, Doug.
All right. You're welcome. Talk to you later.
Bye.
And bye. Click end meeting for all. Okay, and back to me. Okay, there we go. That was a session with Harold regarding his computer freezing, and I'm disconnecting the remote session. If you would like to request a session with me for help with your computer, whatever problems you may be having, send an email to the email address that's on your screen right now, DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com. Give me a little bit of an idea of what you'd like help with, and we'll put it together. So hope this was useful to you. Catch you later. Goodbye.